Hi friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're sewing up the Good Vibe joggers, and these are really neat because you can dress them up, you can dress them down, you can put them as capris, you can put them as shorts, you can put them as pants. You got the yoga waistband, you got the drawstring waistband, you got all different kinds of waistbands, so that's really awesome. So there's just so much you can do with this pattern. So I've already made the pant version. I'm making the capri version today, which is the same thing as the pattern except for shorter. And I'm doing the pockets because pockets. And I think that's it. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm doing the yoga waistband. But before we get started, let me remind you about our fun fan giveaway over at Ellie and Mac. And all you have to do is subscribe to this channel and comment below. And you will be entered for a giveaway of $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate, where you can use that gift certificate to buy any of the awesome patterns that you see me making on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and then comment below. Let us know what your favorite pattern is. Let us know what your favorite video is. Let us know what your favorite food is. Just talk to us and you'll be entered for a giveaway. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have already cut out all my pieces as per my pattern, and they're ready to go. So we're gonna start with the pocket. Let me put the pieces aside. These are my pant pieces. Here's my pocket. I've got my little pocket pattern piece, and I already cut out the little there's the little hole that goes right here, and I did the same thing from my front of my pants pattern piece. I cut out the hole where my pocket's gonna go. So what I'm gonna do now is put all this stuff aside. I'm gonna grab one of my pocket pieces. They're not supposed to be cut together, they're supposed to cut mirrored. That one was just attached. I'm gonna grab it, and I'm going to put my interfacing right on top, wrong side of my pocket, and get it on there. And you know what? I thought I had here my pen, but can't seem to find it. Where did it go? Pause 1 second. Found it. You know, is your sewing room like mine? I have everything everywhere, and so sometimes things get a little bit lost. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna grab my pattern piece. I'm gonna put it right on top of my pocket. See where I can still see my interfacing through it. I'm gonna grab a measuring tool. That is where it's supposed to be. And I'm gonna measure 1/2 inch from the side. And I am going to put a marking right here, and then I'm going to measure 1/2 inch from the other side, and I'm going to put a marking right there as well. So now, and what I'm going to do too, is I'm going to draw the shape of my rectangle, my little rectangle box. I'm just tracing that. If you want to, you can use a ruler. If you're very like, you have a very keen eye for detail, and you're like very like how do you call it? You want everything to be just straight. You can go ahead and use a ruler, but I just traced it. See, and even my interfacing is not even. It should be shorter. I just cut a square. You know, it's fine. All you need is interfacing for this area right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my front pattern piece. And I'm going to grab my front pant. And how am I going to know that? Well, the way that the back pant, the rise, is higher than the front pant. See how the front pant rise is shorter and the back is higher? So I know that this is my front pant. And I'm going to do this for both pockets. I already did my other pocket, but I'm going to show you on this one, and then you're going to do it on the other one. So I'm putting my pattern piece right on top of my pant, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pocket and I am going to put it with the rectangle that I drew face up right on top. And I'm going to make sure that that is even, that rectangle is even with my pattern piece. So I'm just kind of grabbing my rectangle and moving it around even with my pattern piece. As you can tell, I didn't cut my pattern piece very even. And that's fine because, I mean I did, but just make sure that your pocket is kind of in there like that. It matters where it's at, but it's not going to join something else. So it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to like worry so much if it's not right on the spot. Because it's not like two pattern pieces are matching. Like I'm not going to put another pattern piece on top of this. So the pocket will just be there. If it's a tiny bit, like a hair down farther than the other one, nobody will even notice that. So you'll be fine. Now I'm pinning. And I am going to, before I sew it up, I mean, I guess we can sew it up or whatever. I'm going to draw a line from my one dot to my other dot. Oops. So I'm just drawing a line connecting them, and then I'm going to draw two little lines going out to the sides. And I'm going to show that to you in a minute. And it doesn't really matter how you draw them. It's just a guide. So I connected the two dots, and then I went one way, and then I went the other way. Now I'm going to go around and sew with my sewing machine a straight stitch all the way around my rectangle. So we're sewing around a rectangle. These kind of pockets are so scary, but I don't know why. Because they're not hard. Why we're always so scared of pockets and zippers. And just make sure that your pants are straight when you're doing it. And the last part. Like I said, just make sure your pants are straight so that they don't get all bunched up when you do that triangle. So I went all the way around, did that triangle. Now I'm going to use my scissors and open up that where I made that line in the middle. So I'm just kind of folding it over and cutting sideways. And then I'm going to go down one side all the way to my dot, where I made that dot, and then I'm going to go off to one side and the other, but I'm going to stop right before he gets to my, where I sewed my rectangle. You don't want to cut the thread of your rectangle. So I'll show you in just a minute. Make sure you're not cutting anything behind you. Like, you're just supposed to be cutting the fabric, the pocket fabric, and the fabric that's right behind the pocket, which is, you know, your pant pocket, your pant, but you're not cutting anything else. Yeah, I cut too little. I didn't even cut my pant. Okay, so see how I cut it right there? All the way through, went out to the sides, but I did not clip my thread, okay? So now this is where you're gonna put your zipper. So with this face up, right here, I'm going to grab my zipper and I'm going to place it. No, what am I doing? I'm going to turn this first. This is the front. I'm going to tuck this in. And I'm like, that does not make sense. I'm tucking it into my pocket. Okay? All the way in. Ooh, I caught myself. Gonna make a signature mistake. I didn't. I'm learning. Okay, and now I'm going to steam it. My pocket. See how I fit it through? Now I'm seeing the out here, the back side of my pocket. I'm gonna turn it around. Here's the front side. Okay, and I'm gonna steam it. Looking good. So there's my pocket hole. Hello. And I'm going to place that the back of it up, and now I'm going to place my zipper in there. So you want to place your zipper that you have your little head right at the top, or face down if you want to, it's up to you. And you know, we get so scared of zippers, but zippers aren't really that scary. I don't know why we get so scared of them. I'm pinning the zipper just along that line. Now, my zipper is longer because it calls for a 5-inch zipper, and this is a 7-inch zipper. So I've got a tail going on down here. What I'm going to do is, this is probably not proper protocol, but this is what I'm doing. Is I am going to just sew it on, and then I'm going to cut it, and when I sew the other pocket piece on top of it, I'm going to serge over it, so that will serge that pocket right there. But if you want to cut your zipper, there's ways that you can take off that little metal piece at the bottom, and you can trim it and then add the little metal piece higher up, fix it higher up. Or you could even just, I've done it too, where I just sew it, cut the teeth at the top, and then like sew over and over and over on each side, so to make a new stopper. And there's hardware you can buy for that, but I am going the easy route, and I am just sewing it, and I'm making sure that I stitch right all the way. When we go around it, I make sure I do like a back and forth right here at the bottom, so that way it doesn't try to go farther down. And it's worked for me. Okay, so I pinned it. If you want to make it more secure, you can use some hemming tape, whatever it's called. And but I'm not using that because you know how I am. I probably will regret it. But what we're gonna do now is we're going to just, with our zipper foot, we're gonna go all the way around, all the way to the bottom, all over and up and over. So we're just sewing that rectangle closed. If you don't have a zipper foot, the only difference between a regular foot and a zipper foot is you see how it gets closer to this side. Like my zipper foot, you put your zipper on either side, so my needle will be closer to the side instead of, your regular foot, your needle's right in the middle. There's not much room for it to go. But you can make your needle go over to the side farther if you need it to, and it should work. But if you have a zipper foot, that's what zipper foot does. So we're gonna go around. You can move your zipper up or down depending on where you're going. If you need to, and I am moving my needle over closer to my zipper, and I'm going down. And then I'm gonna turn at the bottom, and then I'm turning up. Sorry about that. Trying to move my little zipper up and down as I'm going around it. And then I'm going to turn again right here at the top. And my pocket is on. Dun, dun, dun. Pocket on. I'm going to zip it up. Wasn't too bad, was it? I'm going to take those pins off. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and trim right here. And here's my zipper. Here's my pocket. Now I'm going to grab my other pocket piece and I'm going to put it right on top of it. Okay. and I'm gonna pin it to the pocket. Now we're not pinning this to the pant, just the pocket. So you gotta lift it up, and we're just pinning it to the pocket. Okay, and we're gonna go all the way around. Remember to pull it away from the pocket. You are not sewing, pull it away from the pant. You're not sewing the pant, you're just sewing the pocket. The two pockets together. Pocket, front and back. Here's my foot. I'm just sewing around the whole pocket. And I'm going to catch that zipper in there. Did you hear my sewing machine give me a little hey when I went through my zipper? Now that was a flimsy zipper. One of those flimsy cheap zippers, because I'm not planning on, taking this out and being rough with it. But if it was a harder zipper, like a metal zipper or something like that, I probably wouldn't run over it with my serger, because I wouldn't want to hurt my serger. But because this was just a flimsy, like a cheap, whatever zipper, I knew that it was just really soft. My serger would be just fine. All right, so now I'm gonna grab my back pant leg. Okay, remember the rise of the back and the front are different. So you wanna make sure you grab it a back and a front. Don't grab two fronts, don't grab two backs. One back, one front. And we're gonna meet it at the outseam, which is the taller of the sides. Not where the inseam is, but where the outside of the seam. And we're gonna sew this together. Again, I already did all this to my other pant leg. So you can go ahead and do it to the other pant leg as well. And we're pinning. So we're gonna sew that whole side shut together. Okay? Right sides together. Make sure the pocket is out of the way. So now that the outside is sewn together, we're going to do the same thing for the inside. Now, if you were going to do your stripe down the side, this is when you would do that stripe. You would fold the stripe. Hold on, I'll show you. I'm steaming my seam. You would fold your stripe wrong sides together like this in the middle. So this is your stripe. You would fold the sides down, and you would put it right on top of your side seam, and then you would sew on each side, and that's how you would attach that. But I am not, so I'm going to grab my front and I'm going to place it right on top, just this area right here. I'm not sewing up here this area yet. I'm just sewing the inseam at the leg. Okay, and I don't think I did that step on my other pant leg, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now. And I'm going to sew that together. So both of them together, and then we'll be cooking. No, we won't literally be cooking. We'll keep going. Now that my two sides are sewn in, I'm gonna tuck one around. I make it face front, and then I'm gonna grab the other one and lay it out, and I'm gonna fit this one into my right side out one into my inside out one, and I'm gonna match the seams at the crotch area right here. Match those seams. And then I'm going to go up one side. And then I'm going to go up the other side. So I'm going to match those seams, and it should match perfectly. The back rise should match, and then the front rise should match. So this is the back because it's higher, and this is the front because it's lower. Remember we talked about the front and the back. If they don't match here, that means that you put two backs together and two fronts together. So you need to make sure that that you use the right pant leg. So see how that's cupped in there? And we're going to go ahead and go all the way around that seam and sew it together, and we'll have pants. Make sure you keep your pockets out of the way when you're sewing this step. Oh, come on. All right. And now I'm gonna turn it right side out. And my pants are put together. Look at my zippers. Awesome. So now I gotta do cuffs and waistband. We'll start with, let's see, what do we want to do first? Let's do cuff. We're going to do one cuff. I'm going to show you how to do a cuff, and then I'll do my other cuff later, but we'll do one cuff, and then we'll do the waistband. You know what? Cuff and waistbands are basically the same thing. I'm going to grab my cuff. I'm going to fold it in half, wrong sides together, I'm sorry. And actually somebody taught me a different way of doing this, and I haven't done it yet. But they fold it half, and then they fold it in half again, and then they sew it. And then when you fold it, it gives you the fold already. But I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to mess you up and get all, I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure how to do it, so I'm just going to wait and do it next time when I practice. Okay, so I opened it back up. I see my line. I'm going to fold it right sides together now to make that long line. Well, actually, it would be the shorter line. But we are making just a circular cuff. We'll be doing the same thing to the waistband in a minute. Okay, and now that we sew that side, we fold it right back over that seam, over that memory fold that we did earlier. See? Easy peasy. Now we go out to one side. And that is my half right here. So we can pin right there. Pin on the other side. Then we can match the front and the back and go out to one side and then go out to the other side. And those are my quarters. You don't have to do quarters if you don't want to, but sometimes I like to do quarters just because it's easier. And then I'm going to grab my pant leg. I'm going to fold the front seam and the back seam together, and one will be my front and one will be my back. And what I do is I just clip a tiny little piece of the thread of the fabric, not enough for it to make any difference, not enough for anybody else but myself to see it. And then I'm going to go and match up all those points. The side seams match up, and then the quarters match up, and then the other one. And I'm doing the same for the other cuff as soon as we are done here. And we're gonna actually do the same thing for the waistband, so we'll do that in a minute. And now we're gonna sew, and as we sew, we're gonna stretch that band to fit our pant leg. Like I said, I'm slowly pulling my band a little bit to fit my pants. done. This is like a bigger cuff because this is for my calf. I mean, yeah, because it's higher than my ankle because it's capris. I'm not making the whole long pant. Okay, so there's my one cuff. Now our waistband. Our pant is already quartered because we have all these seams, front, back, and side seams. So we're gonna grab our waistband, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did for my cuff. I'm folding it long ways, wrong sides together to make that memory fold. It just makes it easier when I do it beforehand. And then I open it up and sew that raw edge right here. To make it one continuous band. And then open it back up and fold it on that fold that we already did earlier, wrong sides together, right side out. And we're gonna see out here where our edges are, meeting those edges together. And then I'm going to just steam those edges together. Almost done. This is the last step, y'all. This was easy, wasn't it? You were so scared, weren't you? So scared to see that zipper, and you said, ooh, those pockets. I think they're called welt pockets. But now you're like, oh, let me put those pockets on everything because that was easy, right? We're gonna go from the front to the back and clip. Honestly, I think that sometimes we're just so scared to do something and then we do it and we're like, I was scared of that. I know I do that all the time. I'm like, really? Really? Okay, go to the sides, match the front and the back, go to the sides, pin. Okay, and now we're gonna match all those points with all the points in your pants. And again, well, this back seam, I'm gonna attach it to the back because, you know, the back. Again, you wanna make sure that you move everything out of the way, your pockets, the rest of your pants. You don't wanna catch them together. My waistband is a little bit higher. I did add the extra length, the extra width to make it a taller waistband, just because I like that. You know, that mommy tummy, you want to tuck it in. And when we sew, we're going to stretch our band to fit our pant. Because that will bring it, you know, because you want that contour. You don't want it to be saggy at the waist. And we're going to sew. I really want to make these with like a compression waistband so they're like, you know, well fitting on those areas that you want them to be well fitting at, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the waist. I see how you could think I was talking about my bottom. Alright. Here we go, and make sure everything else, like I said, is out of the way as you're sewing. Looking closely at it, trying to get the hair out of my face. Come on. Come on, little fella. Having a hard time trying to get that pocket to stay out of the way. I should have probably pinned it. Yeah, you probably want to pin it down. I didn't. Yay, I did it. Ooh, you know, I just caught my tomato. It like flew off my thing and my table and it landed right on my lap. I caught it. All right, that's it. We're done. Now I'm just steaming that waistband down. If you want to, you can go ahead and what do you call it? Top stitch that waistband down. If you want. It's up to you. This is up to you. But I am just steaming. And my pants are done. Look at those. I love how it has that detail. It kind of goes down a little bit. It kind of shapes to you. How cute are these? I'll take a picture and post it at the beginning so that way you can see how they turned out. I love the pockets. I love that they were so easy to make, and here they are. Actually, if you want, I told you not to catch them on there, but if you wanted to catch them on there, you can. And then it'll help with stability if you want to. Actually, I think I actually did that with my other ones, and then I'm like, get them out of the way because I'm always so scared to be eating something else. But I'm gonna finish my other cuff and I'll be done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know below if you have any questions. If you're not part of our Facebook or Instagram page, please come join us so you can see what everybody's making and you can see what you're making. We love for you to share what you're making with us. So come show it to us. If you're interested to know where to get this pattern, the link is below. All the information is on there. Go grab it. And if you haven't, subscribed so you can be entered to win our giveaway. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.